America. The land we often envision as a boundless promise where every individual holds the power to craft their own destiny to pursue their wildest dreams. But what happens when that dream shatters? What happens when the very foundations of freedom crumble under the weight of an unseen enemy, leaving behind a trail of utter despair? We're witnessing it now, a dark undercurrent sweeping across our nation, the devastating fentanyl crisis. This isn't just about the stark numbers. It's about a relentless poison transforming vibrant streets into an open-air drug market, turning human beings into what many tragically call zombie drug victims. From the infamous stretches of Skid Row and the unforgiving corners of Kensington to the desperate encampments of the Tenderloin, we are confronted with the raw, brutal reality of homeless in America. These urban landscapes have become the overdose capital for far too many, where hope struggles to breathe amidst the growing shadows of homelessness 2025. Why has America, with all its wealth and promise, allowed this crisis of addiction and dispossession to spiral so dramatically out of control? Why has this once vibrant landscape never truly recovered?
If you're not shocked by what you see, then I don't know what you would be shocked by.
People shooting up, urinating out in the open, vomiting.
You guys are funny.
You're funny, Billy. You're finished.
Los Angeles, the illusion of hope and the crushing grip of addiction. Los Angeles. The very name evokes images of glittering Hollywood sun-drenched beaches and an endless parade of ambition. For generations, this city has stood as a beacon for the American dream, a place where skyscrapers famously reflect the Pacific sun, and opportunity seems to bloom on every corner. Yet, peel back that dazzling facade, take a slower, more deliberate walk through its less traveled paths, and a profoundly different, more harrowing narrative unfolds. Here, the dreams have faded, replaced by the grim and daily struggle for mere survival, as thousands navigate a sprawling metropolis that often feels more like a cold, indifferent maze than a sanctuary. Los Angeles tragically continues to hold the unenviable position of having the second highest homeless population in the United States, surpassed only by New York City. That number, according to the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, or LAHSA, and corroborated by recent United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD reports, remains stubbornly on the rise. But what's critically important for us to grasp is that this is no longer the story of a single isolated city. Beyond the sheer count, what we must understand is how the insidious creep of fentanyl has profoundly altered the very nature of homelessness in Los Angeles. This isn't solely an economic issue, a mere lack of affordable housing. It has become an urgent public health catastrophe. The sprawling encampments we witness, the makeshift tents lining once bustling sidewalks, the old beat-up cars repurposed into desperate shelters, are not just places of refuge. They have tragically morphed into breeding grounds for drug use, further entrenching individuals in a devastating cycle of addiction and despair. The crisis has created a double bind: a scarcity of affordable housing, compounded by the pervasive availability of a substance that strips away dignity and the will to seek help. Imagine a city so bright yet so broken. What fundamental societal cracks do you think paved the way for a crisis like fentanyl to take such a devastating hold on our most vulnerable? The silent epidemic. Fentanyl's nationwide scars. Across the vast, diverse map of America, our major cities are typically celebrated for their vibrant energy, their promise of rich career opportunities, and their rich, diverse cultures. But if we dare to look closer, if we truly scrutinize the data, a profoundly different and more troubling picture begins to emerge. One where raw statistics, however staggering, represent merely the smallest visible fragment of a much larger submerged iceberg of human suffering. According to a 2023 report from the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, a staggering over 650,000 people nationwide are currently experiencing homelessness. To help put that immense figure into a more tangible perspective, that number is roughly equivalent to the entire population of a major American city like Boston, Massachusetts, or even the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. This isn't just a grim statistic pointing to a housing shortage. It's a stark reflection of far deeper, more insidious economic, social, and even environmental challenges that are tearing at the very fabric of our society. What's crucial, however, is the terrifying new layer added to this crisis. Within this vast number of homeless individuals, a tragically high percentage are now battling severe substance use disorders, with fentanyl being a predominant and deadly culprit. Data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, confirms a terrifying surge in fentanyl-related overdose deaths across the nation, making it a leading cause of death for young adults. This isn't just about urban centers anymore. This devastating phenomenon is actively creating a ripple effect, its tendrils reaching out to even the smallest towns and once serene suburbs. Consider the ravaged communities of Kensington and Philadelphia, or the deeply affected regions in West Virginia where the opioid and fentanyl crisis has left an indelible, painful mark. Fentanyl doesn't just coexist with homelessness. It exacerbates every existing factor. It turns job loss into an insurmountable chasm. It amplifies untreated mental health issues into full-blown crises, and it systematically erodes an individual's ability to secure and maintain employment. The common thread everywhere is the alarming disparity between soaring housing costs and stagnating incomes. Rents are escalating at a pace that far outstrips wage growth, making it increasingly arduous for even full-time workers to secure stable, long-term housing. What this truly means in human terms is that a dedicated teacher, a compassionate nurse, or a courageous firefighter may no longer be able to afford to live within the very communities they selflessly serve day in and day out. Furthermore, a relentless barrage of natural disasters, from the ferocious hurricanes that batter the southeast and the devastating wildfires that rage across the west to the brutal blizzards that paralyze the north, not only physically obliterate homes, but also systematically erode the resilience of communities already under immense pressure. Looking at the numbers, it's clear this is more than just a housing issue. What do you believe are the deepest societal wounds that fentanyl has exposed in America? Why Los Angeles became fentanyl's crucible? More than just climate. Among the hundreds of cities spanning the United States, Los Angeles has undeniably become a focal point in the harrowing national conversations surrounding homelessness. There are numerous factors that have converged to transform this place into an epicenter of the issue, stemming not only from its profound economic realities, but also from its natural characteristics, complex social dynamics, and even the city's almost mythical status in the minds of countless hopefuls. Yet in recent years, one devastating element has tragically intensified every existing challenge: fentanyl. Los Angeles has become a crucible for this crisis. Firstly, the famed climate of Los Angeles, with its mild winters and rarely extreme temperatures, has paradoxically become an unwitting magnet. For those stripped of a home, the prospect of sheltering outdoors here is significantly less harsh than facing the brutal cold of northern states. This offers a precarious sense of survival advantage, making Los Angeles a destination for individuals seeking more forgiving outdoor living conditions. However, this same environment has also tragically made it easier for fentanyl use to persist and spread, as individuals can survive outdoors while battling severe addiction. Alongside this, the real estate market in Los Angeles is consistently ranked among the most expensive in the world. The astronomical cost of buying and renting a home has far outpaced the average income of the vast majority of its residents. Even for those holding stable jobs, finding housing that genuinely fits their budget is a formidable, often disheartening challenge. This stark disparity creates relentless pressure where a single life event, a job loss, an unexpected medical bill, or a family breakdown can swiftly leave many utterly unable to afford their rent, pushing them onto the streets and, tragically, into greater vulnerability to fentanyl. What's equally significant, though often less discussed, is the continuous wave of migration from other states. Some individuals flee their hometowns due to rising living costs, desperately hoping to find fresh opportunities in a new place. Others are displaced by local policies or personal circumstances and choose Los Angeles as their next hopeful stop. Whatever the reason, when a city embodies both the shimmering image of a land of promise and offers a pleasant climate, it will inevitably attract a substantial number of people. If the resources for housing, jobs, and critically community support, including vital mental health and addiction treatment services, cannot keep pace, the social pressure will inevitably mount, creating fertile ground for substances like fentanyl to take hold. Los Angeles, with its dense population, complex transportation networks, and existing drug trade routes, has tragically become a readily accessible hub for fentanyl's deadly proliferation. Given its unique mix of challenges, from climate to economy to the fentanyl crisis, what specific actions do you think Los Angeles should prioritize to break this devastating cycle? The domino effect of despair, fentanyl as the final push. When we discuss the profound issue of homelessness, many people instinctively focus on the major, overarching causes, the soaring cost of housing, or a pervasive lack of supply. But in the harrowing reality of everyday life, there's also a silent, relentless, and truly devastating domino effect. At play, a chain reaction where a single, often unforeseen event can completely unravel and alter the life of an individual or an entire family. And increasingly, fentanyl is not just part of this chain, it's frequently the devastating final push. Losing a job is for many the very first domino to fall. When that main source of income abruptly disappears, any meager savings, if they exist at all, are quickly, mercilessly depleted by daily living expenses. Rent or mortgage payments transform into an unbearable burden. And when maintaining a residence becomes an impossible feat, leaving one's home triggers the second critical domino, the loss of a permanent address. This in turn means losing the stability inherently needed to secure new employment. In today's hyper-competitive job market, not having a stable home makes even the simplest tasks like preparing a resume, attending interviews, or consistently maintaining a work schedule incredibly difficult, if not impossible. This process inexorably creates a vicious cycle of poverty and despair, a spiral that the harder one tries to escape, the further they are pulled down. It's worth noting that this domino effect isn't confined to the bustling streets of Los Angeles or the urban canyons of New York. Many other states, such as Florida, Texas, and Arizona, are also recording similar tragic trends. And critically, in regions like Ohio or West Virginia, the epicenter of the broader opioid crisis, fentanyl often becomes the ultimate domino. It steps into the void created by hopelessness, acting as a false balm for psychological pain, despair, or as a direct, devastating consequence of losing one's job or home. Once an individual succumbs to fentanyl addiction, their ability to escape homelessness diminishes drastically. The drug wreaks havoc on both physical and mental health, making it almost impossible to maintain employment, reconnect with family, or effectively access vital support services. And sometimes, the start of this brutal domino chain isn't job loss at all, but unforeseen personal events, a sudden serious illness, a painful divorce, or a catastrophic natural disaster. A major hurricane can quite literally wash away a lifetime of assets and memories. An unexpected medical bill can quickly exceed one's entire life savings. A separation can cut a family's income in half overnight. In these moments of profound crisis, no matter how desperately individuals try, they are confronted with severely limited, often impossible choices. If fentanyl is often the final push into homelessness, what first dominoes, beyond just job loss, do you think society needs to address more proactively to prevent people from ever reaching that point? Faces of resilience, hope amidst the fentanyl fog. While statistics lay bare the daunting scale of homelessness across America, it is the deeply personal stories that truly touch the heart, allowing us to see the human being, the individual behind each cold number. Even amidst the devastating fentanyl fog that blankets so many lives, these journeys towards finding a home again, towards reclaiming a semblance of normalcy, difficult as they are, ignite a powerful belief that change is genuinely possible. They are testaments to the enduring strength of the human spirit and the profound impact of compassionate intervention. In the harrowing landscape of Los Angeles' Skid Row, we meet a woman named Maria, a former nurse who found herself caught in the cruel grip of fentanyl addiction after losing her job and her home. For years, her life was a blur of survival and chasing the next high. But through the unwavering support of a local outreach program, she was connected to a unique center that combined transitional housing with medication-assisted treatment and mental health counseling. Having a safe, stable roof over her head combined with consistent medical and therapeutic care allowed Maria to slowly reclaim her identity beyond her addiction. Her story, though still unfolding, is a powerful testament that when comprehensive support addresses both the physical and psychological toll of fentanyl, people can begin to heal and thrive. Further east in the gritty streets of Kensington, Philadelphia, a city often dubbed the ground zero of the opioid crisis, we find David. David had been living in an encampment for over 5 years, his life dictated by the desperate search for fentanyl. It was a local harm reduction organization operating out of a small storefront that became his lifeline. They offered him clean supplies, naloxone, and most importantly, an open door to a program that provided both emergency shelter and a pathway to long-term recovery, emphasizing dignity and non-judgment. Thanks to their help, David is now in a sober living facility, working part-time and attending weekly therapy sessions. His journey highlights how tailored, compassionate interventions can pull individuals back from the brink of addiction and homelessness. And in a small, struggling town in Ohio hit hard by the economic downturn and the pervasive fentanyl epidemic, we learn about the Johnson family. After the father lost his factory job due to plant closures, linked to the broader economic and opioid crisis, the family lost their home. Their situation was compounded by the mother's struggle with substance use. A community-led initiative utilizing federal grants designed to combat the opioid crisis and support families stepped in. They provided not just rental assistance, but also extensive family counseling and access to addiction treatment for the mother. Today, they are in a stable apartment, the children back in school, and the parents actively participating in recovery and job training programs. Their story underscores that even when fentanyl indirectly impacts a family-integrated community, support can offer a path forward. These stories, while diverse in their circumstances, all share a common crucial thread. Every person, regardless of their background, regardless of the challenges they face, deserves a genuine chance to start over. And when communities, governments, and dedicated organizations truly work together, these new beginnings are not just a distant hope, but a tangible, achievable reality for countless individuals. What kind of support beyond just a roof over their head do you believe is most critical for individuals trying to escape the grip of fentanyl and rebuild their lives? Federal and state government responses, a shifting paradigm. As the wave of homelessness continues to surge across the United States, governmental responses from the federal to state levels have certainly gained momentum in recent years. No longer are we seeing a sole focus on immediate Band-Aid solutions. Instead, the dialogue is shifting towards dual objectives, providing critical short-term shelter while aggressively tackling the deep-seated root causes like mental health crises, the urgent need for job retraining, and equitable access to comprehensive healthcare services. In the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., the current administration led by President Biden has proposed a substantial increase in the budget for the Department of Housing and Urban Development, widely known as HUD. This significant financial allocation is earmarked for various crucial initiatives: the construction and ongoing maintenance of temporary housing facilities, substantial rental assistance programs, and a crucial expansion of community-based mental health care services. Furthermore, the Emergency Housing Vouchers Program was meticulously rolled out to assist the most vulnerable individuals and families in securing stable short-term housing. The federal government's ambition here isn't just to offer a place to sleep, but to build a foundation to start over. A powerful sentiment, isn't it? What do you believe is the single most important factor for someone to truly start over? At the state level, a fascinating array of innovative models are being piloted. Consider California, Washington, and Oregon, where the tiny homes concept has taken root, lauded as a rapid, cost-effective, and scalable solution. In states like Colorado and Arizona, some cities are forging dynamic partnerships, with local hotels repurposing vacant rooms to provide essential temporary accommodation for those who have lost their homes, particularly vital during harsh winter months or in the aftermath of natural disasters. And in places such as Washington and New Mexico, safe parking programs are offering a dignified solution, allowing individuals living in their vehicles to rest overnight in secure lots, complete with access to crucial sanitation services and security patrols. Specifically within Los Angeles, several high-profile initiatives have emerged. Inside Safe is a direct effort to transition individuals experiencing homelessness from sprawling encampments into safe shelter environments. crucially coupled with comprehensive social service support. The Housing First philosophy, what an approach that prioritizes securing stable housing before addressing other personal challenges, remains a cornerstone of the long-term strategy here. And during the unprecedented global pandemic, Project Roomkey ingeniously utilized vacant hotel rooms as emergency shelters, safeguarding the health and well-being of thousands. While these responses are undeniably not a complete panacea, they signal a profound shift, moving from a reactive crisis management-only approach to proactively constructing more comprehensive and truly sustainable solutions. Every single model, whether it's the innovative tiny homes, the practical safe parking initiatives, or essential rental assistance programs, shares one overarching common goal to forge a stable environment where people can begin to restore their shattered confidence, actively seek and find meaningful work, and ultimately reconnect with society. Do you think these government initiatives go far enough, or is there more to be done? Rays of hope, stories of resilience, and real solutions. Amidst challenges that at times can feel utterly insurmountable, there are compelling stories and genuinely successful models that are igniting a powerful belief that the pervasive issue of homelessness can indeed be significantly improved with unwavering determination and true cooperation. One of the most outstanding examples shines brightly in the city of Houston, Texas. In a little over a decade, Houston has achieved a remarkable feat, reducing its homeless population by approximately 60%. A staggering figure, especially when countless other major cities are witnessing the precise opposite trend. This remarkable success wasn't born from a miracle, but from a meticulously executed collaboration without borders strategy, involving a dynamic partnership between the local government, dedicated nonprofit organizations, forward-thinking businesses, and even faith-based communities. Working in unison, they meticulously share crucial data, assiduously avoid duplicating efforts, steadfastly adhere to the housing first principle, and diligently follow up with each individual to ensure they do not tragically return to the streets. Houston's triumph is not an isolated incident. Many other cities are now beginning to earnestly learn from and rigorously apply similar successful models. From the bustling streets of Seattle to the vibrant shores of Miami, local coalitions are ingeniously finding ways to dismantle the often impenetrable walls between disparate agencies, thereby allowing all available resources to be utilized with maximum effectiveness. The conversation is evolving beyond merely building more housing. It's about meticulously crafting a comprehensive, supportive ecosystem encompassing everything from vital career counseling and critical mental health care to fostering genuine community connection. Another beacon of hope emanates from the often overlooked private sector. A growing number of astute businesses and socially conscious investment funds are recognizing that they can and indeed must play a pivotal role in alleviating the acute housing crisis. Some innovative tech companies in California, for instance, have proactively begun constructing affordable housing for their own employees and for local residents within their communities. Similarly, forward-thinking real estate investment funds are starting to allocate a portion of their portfolios to mixed-income projects. Pioneering ventures where low and middle-income individuals can live harmoniously in the same communities as more affluent households, actively fostering integration and significantly reducing the pervasive stigma associated with affordable housing. In parallel, dedicated volunteer networks are dramatically expanding their scope of work. Many small grassroots groups that initially only distributed food have now blossomed into robust organizations capable of providing invaluable assistance with complex paperwork, offering essential job training programs, or actively helping individuals find secure employment. It is the unwavering persistence and profound compassion of these extraordinary volunteers that have become the absolute lifeline, reconnecting countless individuals from the margins of society back to a stable, dignified life. These powerful rays of hope demonstrate unequivocally that while the challenge of homelessness is undeniably immense, the future is not sealed. When government, businesses, and communities genuinely join forces, the numbers of people experiencing homelessness can demonstrably decrease. And perhaps even more importantly, those who once lost everything can gradually regain their shattered confidence, reclaim their much-needed stability, and ultimately find a place to truly call home. Los Angeles today is more than just grappling with its own immense challenges. It is a stark reflection of the intense pressures that countless other cities across America are experiencing, and indeed will continue to face in the years to come. This story, friends, is not simply about cold statistics or abstract policies, but profoundly about people, about real human lives with real struggles, desperately trying to cling to faith and hope on their arduous journey to find a place they can truly call home. The American dream won't simply end overnight, but it will undeniably fade if millions of people no longer have a secure place to call home. Every single step towards change, no matter how seemingly small, helps to rewrite the next chapter of this unfolding story in a better, more humane way. If you believe that these vital stories need to be heard, understood, and widely shared, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Bear City 24 to join us on our continuing journey of discovery, empathy, and connection.